1, go. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday. That is Xbox Nation Day and Hump Day. Unfortunately, Xbot isn't here. I know we were all getting ready to see J-Dubs kind of slam him around a little bit more, but we'll just have to take J-Dubs versus Dirt round 3 and have some fun with that. No, it should be a really good show. It's going to be a good time. Oh, breaking news. Phil Spencer says, congrats to Remedy on Control. Great. Game is great. Hope it's a huge success for the studios. And thanks for the res boost on X. Appreciate the support. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
If that does not sound like, I don't know, a little bit of sour grapes or something, I don't know what does.
It could be.
I mean, thanks for the res. It's 1440p on the X. I mean, it is 1080p
Better than
on the
1080p.
Pro, but it is. But did you see like the 99% of Xbox One owners own an Xbox One or an Xbox One S?
Fact.
That's a 720p game on those consoles. Like, man, in 2019, can you imagine playing in 720p? Yeah, I mean that's that 720p life. It's very difficult. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna get even more into it as you all join in. Please like and share it out. I would appreciate it. We got Mooch. Mooch, what's going on, man?
I'll tell you what's going on. I was just talking to J-Dubs and Dirt about it behind the scenes there. We got Control, man. I'm enjoying the hell out of it, to be honest with you. I hope we kind of get into it a little bit about the gameplay without, of course, no spoilers.
Yeah.
But we're here, crap. This is the week we've all waited for. This is really the break-off week into the holiday season. We've got Control. You've got Blair Witch. You've got Borderlands 3. You've got Gears 5. Everything's right now. Man of Medan, if I'm saying that right. All these games are coming out within the next, 14 days, 15 days? That's insane. Yep. So, I mean, this is what we've all been ramping up to. We've gotten the backlog out of our system. I hope everybody got a game or two out of their system. I know I did over the summer. Get that going, and now it's time for some new games, some new conversations. So it's very exciting, man.
It is very exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a lot of stuff coming out as well soon. So Borderlands 3, I know, is one that you're very excited about. Yep. And and I know you're super excited about that. We've got Gears of War 5, and a lot of people are excited about that. They actually moved the release date or the early access date up to the 5th.
Yeah, I threw a couple of conspiracy theories at you on that one.
Yeah, yeah. Mooch goes. Do you think it's because they're trying to avoid the negative reviews?
Not necessarily just negative, but I'm wondering because listen, they were already giving it to us on the 6th. They're moving it to the 5th. Now, I know Dirt's enjoying this one, but hear me out, Dirt. Right? I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what's the old? Listen, Dirt, we've been saying this for years, right? So the reason that you actually try to have the release of the review, the embargo lift, right after or as close as you can, because you don't want to have too much talk going on if something happens to be negative or not necessarily that positive. So when they bumped it up to the 5th, right after the media left, I'm just saying, it's a good talking piece. It's a talk show, people. That's what you do here.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's interesting, right? I mean, you at least have to ride with me there.
Yeah. Plus the fact it's $1. So I mean,
who's not gonna get that for $1?
Everybody's playing it for 99 cents.
I saved $98 by getting it for $1. You know what I mean? I usually always buy the more expensive Ultimate Edition. It's usually like $99 or whatever, $100. So yeah, I definitely I didn't have to do that. So yeah, it's I'm excited by that. Hey, we still got some more people introduced. We got Predator. He moved up, man. You moved up.
Oh shit! I'm moving up in the fucking totem pole.
Yeah, you are, man. What's going on, Pred?
Not much, man. Glad to be on another week with Xbox Nation, the crew, minus a couple of people. So hopefully this podcast will be nice and friendly, like always.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. We got J-Dubs back, man. Kratos, how's it going, man? Thank you for joining us. What's up?
Doing good. It's always great to be back on Yoshida Nation podcast.
Xbox Nation.
Oh man.
Hey man, it's been good. Just having fun, enjoying Twitter, enjoying gaming, and let's see what the chat got for me tonight.
Absolutely, man. It's gonna be great. I'm excited, and we got back for I think it's third straight week. Dirt Griggity, what's going on, Diggity? How's it going, man? Thank you for joining us again.
Thanks for having me. Did you say Yoshida Nation, Jay?
Yes, sir.
Get out of here with that shit, man.
It's like Yoshida.
It's anti-Xbox Nation. We ain't gonna call it Yoshida.
Anti-Xbox Nation.
Anywhere I show up is Yoshida Nation.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I think we're all we're all excited about gaming here. I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. Like, we have fun with each other, but nobody here is like enemies or anything like that. So, we all have a good time. If you guys are just joining us, please like and share it out. I would appreciate it. We're going strong already, and we do got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. I'm going to open up this and see what we're talking about. Oh, here we go. We've got Aaron Greenberg. This guy, really talkative lately. I don't know what the deal. How can he even get any time to talk with all his vacation time? I don't know. But apparently, in between getting a Battletoad shaved in the back of his head and going on vacation to all these different places, he has done some interviews, and he says that they're going to have surprise game announcements, y'all, for Xbox XO 2019. I'm already excited. I can tell you what, man. I mean, when Microsoft promises a surprise game announcement, you know it's going to be big because they promised one the last 5 years, and we've got
It's gonna be a huge fucking letdown, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny part, right? And like people are talking about they're gonna announce Fable. I seen like some articles talking about that, right? And my thing was this one article that was like, they're gonna announce Fable because XO is in the UK and their Fable Studios is in the UK. Like that was their reasoning. Like I don't get it, but yeah, I don't like if they were gonna.
Oh, it's rare, and so is Battletoads. So
yeah, if they were gonna announce, they're gonna announce Battletoads 2 in addition to showing up, and Battletoads 2 is gonna have a different look. Yeah, exactly. Battletoads Pop. I can hardly wait. That was another thing, and we'll get into maybe that a little bit as well. I have never seen people like a mobile game so much just because one company made it. Right? Yeah. Like, oh man, Gears Pop! I can't believe it. This is the greatest thing ever. Oh my gosh, I can't put it down. It's so
I mean, some people like it. I just can't get into it.
Dude, nobody, and mark my words, in a week from now, nobody's gonna be talking about this game at all. It'll be long forgotten. But anyway, yeah, so surprise games. Mooch, what kind of surprise games can we expect from Microsoft, man?
I don't know, but let's be honest. You have to put every one of these events in perspective, right? So take everything with a grain of salt. A lot of people all of a sudden start kind of just getting their imagination running wild. You've got E3, which you've got ABC, NBC, CBS, IGN, every big news gaming outlet out there watching you. That's where you want to put anything on display. Then you say, okay, Mooch, never mind. They didn't do that. They want to have a big showing at Gamescom. Gamescom has the largest foot traffic. It's 350,000 people walking around. It's Europe. It's Asia all meeting together. You've got to come and see this. It's unbelievable. That's where they're going to want to show it. Okay, maybe I'll dance with you there. XO, this is a specific, it's basically like a fan fest that's televised, you know? So at that point, is that where they want to make the big splash, where everybody's just giving them a few-minute blurb on their news? Not necessarily. So I think what you're going to see is a lot of like maybe what some of the teams are working on the AA front, or something small, huge ID at Xbox. You know, Chris Charla is going to come out there on a skateboard again and some sort of Converse sneakers, and they're going to show everything off like that. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the Chris Charla show. I don't know if you're going to see a whole lot. If maybe they'll put a release out of a title that we want to see, something that's coming out from Playground Games. Maybe they'll do the whole thing with Fable, just show it, you know, with smoke going by, kind of how Nintendo did it on their Connect with Metroid 4. Maybe they'll do something like that at the most. But realistically, I think you're looking at the Chris Charla show and maybe something on Minecraft.
Minecraft? Man.
Well, you know what I mean? I mean, I just can't see how you would pass up Gamescom with 350,000 people, you know, foot traffic alone. And then you got E3, the largest stage where every single outlet and media is watching to show something, a big reveal, when it's really just a bigger version of Xbox Fan Fest. I'm not sure if that's the location.
I can tell you why. I think the only reason they would do that is because they know they had poor performances for both. And they're like, we gotta fucking fix this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like you see,
Brad,
like
they did that last year.
Listen, you don't take.
Go ahead.
You don't pass up your biggest events,
right?
And then go to the smallest event with the smallest footprint to bring out your big stuff.
Exactly.
But this is Microsoft, though.
PlayStation did it though, didn't they?
No, PlayStation they will.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
All they have to do
2016 was great all year because that
was
E3 was great and their PSX was greater than 2016. I'm sorry, you're right about that.
Yeah,
I think like for the most part, like it's like they're so predictable. They have to be not predictable and do things outside the norm, because like with the way that things has been working lately with them, like anytime they have the stage, it's been kind of like overshadowed with Sony. No, it doesn't matter what Sony does during the time that Microsoft should have the stage to themselves. Sony has seemed to kind of taken their limelight out, and even with the XO thing, like it's like a predictable thing. Like everybody knows they're announcing something, and Sony's going to come out and announce like a release date for Last of Us 2, or they bought a studio.
Remedy.
Yeah, we already know. We know that's happening. So Sony, Microsoft needs to kind of understand that too, right?
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'll read a little bit of what Greeny says. Okay, he was talking about how their new studios are working on multiple games. I mean, this is stuff reads like, you know, those parody YouTubers that are just all Xbox all the time. And it's almost, you sit back and look at some of it. No shots at anyone in particular, but it's almost like, are these people serious? He says each of these studios that we acquired is working on multiple projects. There's going to be a lot of new games coming out on Xbox. I think fans are going to be really excited about, and more than ever before, probably in the history of Xbox. So again, he's talking about the greatest games ever in the history of Xbox.
Oh, Lord. The greatest lineup ever in history.
Yes.
For four straight years in a row.
Exactly. He said it's been an exciting and great getting to know all these teams, going out and sitting down with Ninja Theory or the teams at Obsidian or In Exile and seeing the stuff that they're working on. Now that people know about the secret things they have in the works that people don't know about yet, we'll in time be sharing more about those. I think we feel good about the level of content we have coming from our internal studios, but we felt good about that then, and the opportunity with Double Fine came, and it was a perfect fit. Which, by the way, Double Fine just released a game on every platform but Xbox. Let that sink in for a second. Every platform but Xbox, okay? He says, you never know, but I think we're good where we're at with our 15 internal studios. We feel really good with the amount of content we're getting. Whether it's supporting Project Scarlet or supporting Xbox Game Pass on PC, we feel like we have a healthy set of content across multiple genres, multiple game types that will excite our fans. He even said how they're collaborating with each other, as well as how they're going to have some surprises this XO that they're going to be working on and looking forward to showing off. Again, I absolutely take everything with a grain of salt that Aaron Greenberg says. I do not, I'm not one of those people that's going to believe everything this man says anymore. It's just like, how can anybody get super excited about any of these events? I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to be really excited about, oh my gosh, now maybe they blow me away, and I think that'd be great. But I'm definitely past the point in my life where I'm just like, Megaton, they're promising exclusive after exclusive. It's going to be great. Xbox is back. Woo! You know what I mean? Like, I want to do that, but I feel like I would just be letting myself down and everybody else, because that's probably not going to happen. They're probably going to have some.
What would make you do that though, Crap?
Fable, or like a new AAA IP. Show an index card saying, hey, we're working on this new AAA IP. It's going to be great. It's going to be exclusives. Let's make exclusives great again. Let's not go back and forth on, oh, we're going to do exclusives. Now we're not. Now we want Game Pass on everything. No, we don't. Okay, but here with reverse Sabida Blue Jay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Microsoft even knows what they're doing. They have some of the worst PR ever. So them always promising stuff. Again, early on, you could believe stuff like this, a couple years in, but you could literally Google big Xbox announcements or whatever, and every year somebody's saying something about surprise announcements, and every year we get nothing. Yeah. So at some point, people are going to start to kind of notice this and call them out for it a little bit more than they have. I'm hoping that they have some kind of announcements, but I can remember last XO, Phil Spencer said this. He was like, oh yeah, people were a little bit disappointed. Maybe they wanted a game announcements. We'll check that off for next time or something. Now we know. Like, he didn't know going into that. You know what I mean? Like, just like last E3, it's like, we saved some announcements. Yep, we saved some announcements. We didn't show everything. And then this E3, yep, we saved some stuff because I'm excited about stuff we didn't show. And I'm just like, man, Phil, like this guy, over here, man.
Hey, crap. Yeah. Now, as like one of the last real Xbox guys left, I will say this about Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg and those guys. I'm about to contradict myself, but I love it when they speak, but they speak too damn much. If you catch my drift, absolutely. They talk a lot and they haven't delivered. I will admit that. Yeah, and they haven't delivered. So with XO this year, I'm just going to sit back and relax. I guarantee you guys won't see me tweeting anything like, "Oh, this is going to be great." I'm going to sit back and watch the show and see what happens. I'm not expecting them to announce anything big.
And you know, Dirt, that's awesome that you say that, because honestly, coming from you, that does mean something. And I think what's happening here, maybe it's because, like, you know, you're vocalizing your opinion more, and you're also listening to other opinions more. And I think what it comes down to is normally, right, myself included, Crap just said years ago we would have done it, and you said even you may have done it a year ago, but now you're going to sit back and be like, okay, so what do you guys got? Show me what you got.
Yeah,
I'll get excited after you show me. That's the thing. They've gotten us to a point where these shows themselves used to be so exciting. But now it's been so many shows that you watched where there's nothing that kind of gets your heart pumping or excitement really going. And that's what I think has been missing, you know?
Yeah. Mooch, when you've been disappointed so many times back to back to back to back to back, it's impossible for you to come out and try to be hyped for something, because you've been disappointed.
You got to show me at this point.
You're right. The last 5 years, I mean, we can start from the beginning, from the greatest lineup in history, right?
Yep.
Then the next year, that list got smaller. Then they cancel like half the games on the list. Then they add a couple of more multiplats on the list. And before you know it, it whittles it down. And then the bad messaging from Microsoft. Phil says one thing, Aaron Greenberg says another, Mikey Barr says something else.
Jay, I'm glad you said that, because you doing that leads into what I wanted to say when Crap was reading Aaron's quote. Aaron's been, you know, so on and off over the years with what he says. When he comes out and does it, it's to me it's not completely, but it's almost like a publicity stunt. You know, it's when he says something, when Phil says something, I know you guys kind of bash, but I when Phil says it, I do still take it as God. He is the leader, right? So captain of a ship, when something good happens, he gets the credit. When something bad happens, he gets the bad credit. So when Phil comes out and says it, I give Phil the benefit of the doubt, because he is the head of Xbox, period. But it seems like Aaron is so far removed on things that are going on. Like Aaron, you can just tell Aaron does not hang out with Matt Booty. He doesn't know what's going on. He's very generic, you know, extremely generic. So I mean, when Aaron comes out and says things like that, and he tries his best to get people hyped, to me personally, that just doesn't do it. It either has to come from Phil or Matt Booty, and if it doesn't come from one of them, to me personally, it's no more than just, you know, outside Xbox doing an infomercial.
Well, and it shows you the total complete opposite of what Sony does, right? For one, those guys barely talk. They barely speak. You barely see them. But when they do speak, they're all in unison. They have a unified message. That's right. And it's something that you can look forward to. And they have yet to disappoint on that particular front.
But the other thing too, Jay, is I think what happened at some point, and I can't blame anybody for this. I can't. Because the Xbox staff got really wrapped up in the limelight and being out there and putting their face and their name recognition and being popular. Like, you don't see Yoshida, you don't see Sean Layden, you don't see any of those guys tweeting out anything really. And even the new state of plays are just a voice actor or voice actress with just, this is what's coming, this is what's coming, this is what's coming, see you later. You know what I mean? And it's just fast. So
you don't have them trotting out an NBA player to reveal his low rating.
No,
I mean, that seems like they should be doing that. Sir X-Man says the most important thing for Microsoft is how much alcohol they can give their developers. Facts.
Show some respect.
They do seem to have a lot of alcohol. What does somebody tweet? He hashtags it at me all the time. Something not crunch, brunch not crunch. Yeah, that's right. Brunch, not crunch. So, yeah, look, I'm sure that the games are coming. We just got to put, all that stuff into perspective, and we got to wait for it. Hey, almost 500 watching already. Hit the like button. Maybe we can get 150 likes. Hey, I'm also going to have to pull a mooch here. I need control, man. Somebody game gifted to me.
Somebody hooked me up. Crap.
Yeah, somebody hooked me up. I wasn't lucky enough. Like
hashtag mooching.
Yeah, to get a copy of the game,
well,
man.
I started early, and I told Crap I've been writing to the 505 games.
I had wrote the remedy, and that was the wrong way to go about it. Yeah, so I had actually wrote the remedy, and that was the wrong way to go about it. I should have did the 505 thing like you, but I was an idiot. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm saying, man, I would like to hook up. I would love to play it before this hurricane hits, man. Mooch, we should get in M&C, and then either Sunday night or early Monday morning, supposedly stuff's supposed to get in. So the rest of this weekend, it's going to be spent boarding stuff up and getting water and stuff like that ready just in case. So yeah, appreciate it. If anybody wants to do it, there's Xbot in the chat. He actually moved So we're gonna actually have to. He wasn't able to get his computer hooked up or anything like that, but he'll be back next week. He sends his well wishes, and he wants us to stay battle turds, and it's gonna get 55 Metacritic. So that's what he said. So believe me, that's what he said. That's what he said. That's not my words. That's his words. So yeah, we're gonna be saying that as well. So again, Microsoft also satisfied with their current first-party studios, but said they're not ruling out future purchases. I don't know how to feel about this. I feel like they haven't got anything. I mean, the Obsidian one is pretty big. The one that I'm most excited about, to be honest with you, is the one that they just built, the Initiative, because they got a lot of talent there. But it's like we have this pool of games that we can look at these other studios and go, okay, well, they make this type of game. That's probably not going to change because Microsoft is hands off supposedly. So In Exile is going to make Wasteland 4, and Double Fine's going to do whatever the hell they're going to do. They do these smaller type indie games or whatever. And, Compulsion Games is going to do, who knows, but it's going to probably be mediocre because their games have been mediocre. So, you can kind of get a good sense of that. Ninja Theory is a bit of a wild card, although Bleeding Edge doesn't look great. Like Mooch, what do you think about this? They're basically maybe trying to keep people away from overhyping new game purchases and studio purchases and things like that. They're like, hey, our 15 is pretty good. We're good with that for right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was kind of a odd way to come about it this week, right? It was, again, I'm going to say it's mixed messaging, but I'm not going to blame Microsoft completely because it was the article that said they were done obtaining studios. And then, Aaron, I believe it was Aaron that came out and said, no, that's not exactly what I said. So here we go again. It's not exactly what I said. I think if you want to ask my opinion, this is strictly my opinion. I don't think they're done acquiring studios, but I do believe they're done for the time being. I think that's probably the point he may have tried to get across. And of course, with the media the way they are now, bang, they hear something, they slap a label on it, a clickbait item, and bang, out it goes. So that's why Aaron's like, well, that's not quite what I meant. I think what they meant is you're probably, again, I'm completely taking this in my own interpretation of what I saw, and Aaron's feedback was I think that they're done acquiring them right now. That would mean that I would be shocked if they mentioned that they acquired another one at XO, like everyone thinks.
Yeah.
I think right now they're on pause because they said they have 15. I mean, 15 is not a small number of studios.
It's
now,
not.
we can get into quality of studios and talent. That's a different subject. But at 15 at the current rate they were going and purchasing them, I can see they're not going to just keep scooping up every single. And don't forget, not every company is for sale. Yeah.
But Mooch, to be fair, the type of studios that they've been buying are smaller studios. They don't cost much money,
right?
And so of course they can go out and get another 5 of those studios for the price of what it would take to buy a Remedy or Insomniac or some of the other larger studios.
It's true. And there's nothing to say that that's wrong, but I mean, they're also kind of having some faith, Jay, that I think I said this to you last week. I can't remember if you were on the show. I don't remember what show I said it on, to be honest with you. I said that Microsoft kind of went with draft picks versus where Sony went with right. They went with top draft picks versus a bona fide hitter.
The Brady's.
But I told you this was happening though, right? I did your show like maybe about a year ago when we were talking about like getting those exclusive deals, and I said that Microsoft isn't interested in that. I think they want to scoop up these smaller AA studios.
Yep.
I didn't know they were going to go the route they went, but I did mention like they're not interested in doing these marketing deals with these huge studios when they're selling. Like, why do a marketing deal with Call of Duty if that game is going to sell just as well in your console without the marketing deal?
That's right.
And so and I always thought that it may be smarter for them to scoop up smaller studios that no one knew about on the cheap and hope that they can produce something amazing. Like,
but listen, but the thing is though, Pred, when you go back to my draft picks, I don't care if you like football, baseball, or basketball. I don't care. When you see your team go and pick some high quality draft picks, only 1 or 2 after 10 years really pan out.
Yeah.
So where I don't necessarily think that it paid off was, let's take Call of Duty again, for example. Call of Duty, okay, yes, is selling decently on the Xbox. But what it does by getting the marketing rights and what Sony did by taking that away from Xbox is now people assimilate that game with that box.
Well,
that sells more consoles, right?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think they still want marketing deals. I just think they don't want the exclusive content or those second party deals that they used to have, because they still market a lot of games. From Battlefield to NBA 2K, they still market a lot of big games. I just think the exclusive content thing is a thing of the past.
But you got to think about it this way. I spent this past weekend playing Call of Duty, the new Modern Warfare, on the PlayStation. It was exclusive alpha to that particular platform.
A marketing deal, right? That's a marketing deal.
But guess what they did? That forced me to have my user engagements on my PS4 Pro.
No. I'm not. No. I agree with you. I'm saying, like, as Pratt said, that he feels they're not trying to get those marketing deals. I think they are.
I think when they had that budget crunch and they had to go through, like,
right.
Cut out, and that was like, why spend all this money to market Call of Duty or all the why spend that money if those games are going to be selling just as successful on their platform? Either way, you market it or not. And I don't have the numbers in front of me.
I agree with you. Right?
I'm pretty sure those games deal just as well on Xbox.
They will flip the script back next generation. The reason they're not focusing and spending a lot of money on marketing deals this generation, and they're not going balls to the wall, is because the install base is smaller and it hasn't been a great payoff for them with doing it.
Jay, I'm not sure if I can dance with you on that one. I don't. I think
Hold
they're
on.
gonna.
Timoteo Payas says 500 people like the video. Yes, this man speaks the truth. Go ahead, Mooch.
No, I mean, I like where Jay's thought was, because that was me circa 2 years ago.
Yeah,
right.
But I don't see why Microsoft at this point in this. Look at where we are. Look at what 2020 is going to bring about. We've already beaten this horse to death, so I'm not going to do this again. Yeah. But people who have PS4s are more than likely going to also be purchasing a PS5, and the Xbox folks are going to be doing a Scarlet. Okay, for the most part.
Right.
My point is that why would they, if that's not going to work for them now, that's not going to work for them then. They're not going to go spend $100 million or $50 million, $75 million on a contract with Activision to get Call of Duty back.
You know what's funny though?
They're doing it now though.
Hey, they spent 19
They aren't.
million
They're not spending that kind of money.
They spent 19 million to get Devil May Cry 5.
There it is, folks.
Okay,
there it is. There's your money. That's where it's going.
But look at the biggest.
Look
at the biggest third-party games right now. Who has the marketing deal?
PlayStation.
No, let's name these games. Okay, NBA 2K20. That's Xbox. The Star Wars Jedi Fallen. That's Xbox. Borderlands 3. That's Xbox. What other big game this year, guys? Help me out.
But they're not having that. But they're not having anything.
But there's nothing special about it.
Are you talking about content? What are you talking about? Marketing deals with exclusive content? Or
well, I mean,
marketing deals?
Yeah, they do. Like, here's the thing, though. Without, like, to me, I would take a copy of Control on Xbox, but PlayStation actually, if I have to get it myself next month, I'll get the PlayStation 4 version because they have exclusive content. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's like, like I like that stuff. It really shows that and I think Microsoft painted themselves in a corner when Phil Spencer was like, well, I don't believe in doing this or that. You know what I mean? Because I think the fact of the matter is
that budget crunch.
Yeah, like I think that was the problem, right? They didn't have the money to actually go out there and do that stuff. And now it's going to really hurt them in the long run, because if they do it, it's very hypocritical. Even though we all understand it, because it's already hypocritical, because he's like, yeah, we don't really believe in keeping stuff off other platforms. And then they get a year time. Yeah, they get a year time exclusivity with Dead Rising 4 or Rise of the Tomb Raider, or you know what I mean? So like they say one thing and do the other thing anyway. Maybe behoove Phil to just go out and go, well, listen, I'm new to it, and I do realize that if you want to, stay competitive, these are the things you got to do. So there's like, just like with Cuphead. I mean, they got an exclusive deal with Cuphead and Ori. You know what I'm saying? That's keeping stuff off of other platforms. But that's what you do if you're a platform holder, right? Like if you have a box that you're trying to sell and people want to throw the Netflix subscription, I throw that crap out the window, because fact of the matter is there's almost as many PlayStation 4s in the wild as there are people with Netflix subscriptions. And there's billions of devices to play Netflix. So if you have a particular piece of hardware, you can get it to that point where it can do just as good. And people got to sort of understand that. And when Phil Spencer says stuff like, we don't really care if you buy our Xbox because it's all about services and subscriptions. And then, you know what I mean? It's like, to me, it's realistically, it's kind of schmarmy and not truthful, because I'm sure he would love to sell 100 million Xboxes, right? So why does he damage control it the other way and say, well, we don't really care about it, blah, blah, blah. But I do want to talk about this because I thought this was funny when I saw this. Microsoft opened up an Age of Empires studio that makes no games. And this is so Microsoft. When I saw this, I was like, holy cow. How do you have a studio that you open called Age of Empires that doesn't do Age of Empires games or any games? So they recently formed a studio for Age of Empires IP, and they're not going to make any new games in the series. According to Microsoft creative director Adam Isgreen, speaking to Games Industry Biz, the studio under leadership of Shannon Loftus, look out, will instead be focused on oversight of other studios that are working on the IP. Currently, that includes Forgotten Empires, which made Age of Empires Definitive Edition and is working on the sequel. Relic Games currently working on Age of Empires 4, and a third team in Australia called Tantalus Media, which is focused on Age of Empires 3. And they say, our role at Microsoft is to enable these great developers to make Age products and to be the overseers and the ones making sure that we're on message and on brand for delivering what we believe is to be great Age of Empires experiences.
Great.
So, yeah, I mean, you have an Age of Empires Studios that's not.
So they're making. I'm sorry, Crap.
They're not doing Age of Empires. They're just.
So they're making sure that it's done right, though, right?
Yeah, but why have a studio?
That's what your studio do.
Yeah, why have a studio that's not making games, though?
You're going to spend money, hire a whole team to just make sure that
sounds like they want quality to me.
Well, it sounds like they're trying to quality control it.
Age of Empires is not even that type of game to be doing that on.
But it's popular, though, right?
Yeah, like,
if anything, you would do that on a Halo or Gears or Forza or something that is a big game that's going to sell millions, and you guarantee you need that quality control. Why would you do that for that type of game? That makes no sense. But
this is bad. So Xbox is hiring a team to oversee the development of Age of Empires is bad. Because they hired some people to make sure the game is quality. That's bad. That's what you're telling me, Jay?
You know what happened, right? Okay.
What?
So you have Spider-Man. You have God of War. You had Horizon Zero Dawn. You know who managed some studios and made sure that they were okay?
Who?
Shuhei Yoshida.
Okay.
Every quarter, he would go and check on the game and play it and say, nope, I don't like it. Yes, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how they quality control their games.
Okay.
They don't have to hire a whole. That would be like.
Isn't that Matt Booty's job anyway?
It just
it is. But I mean, I don't know how this is a negative, y'all. I really don't know how this is a negative.
I can see why it's wasteful.
Oh, okay, that's a different conversation. You can say it's wasteful, but at the same time, I think they want a quality product.
If Crap would have read, Microsoft is hiring a team of people to crank up their quality control. Their job is to go around and check on all these studios and check on the games and make sure that they're quality. I would cheer that on. I would be like, hooray, hooray. But they're not doing that. They're doing that for a game called Age of Empires that's going to be on the PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, like that's my main thing. It's like it doesn't make sense because they're like, yeah, we've got this studio called Age of Empires Studios, which I think they count in their 15.
Yes.
And they're not going to be making anything. I get that. I wish they would have had some kind of quality control when it came to stuff like State of Decay 2. Sorry, Sully.
Right. I would love that.
Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves. Which I like Sea of Thieves, but let's be honest, man, that thing launched with zero content.
Right.
It was fun to get drunk and play with your friends, but other than that, I mean, it's not exactly a game. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those kind of experiences or whatever. But
make your own fun. You're supposed to make your own fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, come on, chasing chickens and stuff like that. It's great. Hey, hit the like button. I appreciate it. I just thought that was really funny.
Who owns that studio? Is it Microsoft or is it?
Well, Microsoft owns that studio and that game, but they don't own the studios that are working on these definitive editions of these games or the fourth installment. Those are just outside contractors that are supposedly doing these games or whatever.
Well, I mean, look at what's happening. I mean, I think what happens is we skim the surface here, and if you just peel the onion back a little bit, you can see what Microsoft's doing. And none of this really should take anybody by surprise, but no one really looks at it. Age of Empires, so they have a studio that's out there basically doing what Matt Booty should be doing in his team, out there watching over a game that this is a game that's on PC that you have to buy into and keep paying. It's a games as a service, right? So you'll continue. It's a never-ending pot of cash. And look at what just recently came out. Gears Pop. That's just people are even saying. I know people are saying no, that's not true, but a lot of people are saying that it's a pay to win kind of scheme.
Oh,
right?
Pay to win, supposedly.
Well, that's fine. I didn't try it, so I'm not going to comment on that. But I'm saying, look at Game Pass. Want you to keep throwing that. Well, now it's 99 cents and it's $1.99, but eventually they want to get up to an $8.99, $9.99 monthly subscription. So that's just never-ending cash from the console folks and the PC folks. My point being is that their emphasis is on games as a service, and that's the direction they're going in. That's why they're getting smaller teams for smaller money. They don't need to go spend big bucks. They don't need to go pay Activision $75 million for Call of Duty anymore. Their money is going to come in that way. That you can clearly see the direction that Microsoft is moving in. And if you guys are saying, no, that's not true, that's fine. You can hold on to what you want. But every year that goes by, you can clearly see that their direction is focused on games like Age of Empires, Gears Pop for mobile, right? Making money, monthly subscription, pay to win, pay to play. That's the kind of stuff that they want. And that's seriously, I mean, myself sitting back listening to you guys speak, that's the roadmap I'm seeing.
So they basically made Age of Empires the Minecraft. Like, that's all they do.
Hoping.
They're hoping. They're hoping.
Like, I don't know. I didn't know that there was this huge, like, group of people that really wanted to play that or whatever. But hey, they are catering to like that PC crowd, and they're taking it seriously. I've been seeing a lot of those articles pop up lately. Microsoft's taking PC gaming seriously. So yeah, there is that. I mean, whatever that means. Hey, I hope they take console gaming seriously again. That would be nice.
Console? What's that?
Yeah, console, dude. It's that thing Mikey Barrow calls Xbox when he tweets out stuff.
Yeah,
get it for PC and console, and people are like, "You mean Xbox?"
No, console.
Yeah, console. He's just getting it prepared. You know what I mean? Get it for PC and consoles when later on when it's everything. Gears of War 5 campaign. This thing's rumored to only be between 4 and 6 hours long, I guess, like on a normal setting. A lot of people are kind of reading it as, I don't know, but
crap. Everyone knows you don't play those Xbox multiplayer games. You don't play those games for the single player.
Well,
Stop, Jay. Stop it, Jay. Hold on, where's these rumors coming from? Hold on. Didn't Ron Ferguson say something like somebody said they're going to beat it in 5 hours, and Ron Ferguson said good luck with that?
He said good luck with that, but I mean, what does that mean? That's not a denial.
Come on.
That the game is going to be different.
I mean, listen, if you play it on the hardest level, maybe, but if you just play it on normal or whatever, I would assume that it's like and I'm not saying that's terribly bad, but
how long is the Gears are like 8 to 10 hours, right? So
I think Gears 4, I think I beat in like 6 or 7 hours. So
and that's what this is going to be.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be around the same amount of time. Somebody noticed that there's a compass in one of the shots, that off-screen shots of the campaign, maybe indicating that there's a little bit more of an open world element to it. I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah.
I don't actually think though they would go that far with a gear that, like, I don't know, will they actually change it up? That'd be surprising. But like, Mooch, what's your expectations for like this game in terms of the single player? Like for me personally, I'm more only interested kind of in the single player.
Yeah, the single player is why I've always played Gears.
Here's the thing. I didn't get into the Gears multiplayer until Gears 2, later on into Gears 2.
Well, I mean, I was definitely late to that show. I was in the Gears multiplayer quite a bit for Gears 4. I liked it. I did. But after playing the tech test, after putting so much time into Gears 4 multiplayer, yes, they've made some really neat, different kind of changes. You know, pretty good, pretty neat.
Yeah.
Some different kind of changes. Shout out to Knox. I think that's not the stuff that's going to rope me in for another 100, 200 hours because I can see it through a wall with a particular skill set or weapon. Yeah. And I never was into Horde. And that's not a Gears. I don't like Horde on anything really. Myself. I mean, that's just for me personally.
I'm the same kind of way. Like I played maybe 2 rounds of Horde on Gears of War 4. It's okay, but it's nothing that I really go back
to. The single player thing to get back to, again, it's mixed messaging, confusing. I would say what I'm walking into, and this is after seeing what Rod's tweeted out, seeing what some of the communities tweeted out, I'm looking at probably an 8. I think it's 8 to 10 hour.
I agree with you, Mooch.
I think that's kind of what we're looking at, which is, again, par for the course for Gears.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's not a bad timeline.
It's not.
Considering everything that's in Gears, like if you choose to only play the single player game and not play anything in the multiplayer,
right?
that's still decent. But like most people who love Gears are gonna get more out of the multiplayer than they are the single player anyway. So like you're getting 6 to 8 hours, even if it's 10 of campaign, you're gonna triple that in multiplayer for a Gears.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is how a lot of people are gonna see it. In 2019, where you have games like God of War, Days Gone, a lot of these single player, I know, Dirk. When you have a lot of these games pushing 40, 50, 60 hours, in 2019 is a 6 to 7 to maybe 10-hour game. Is that even applicable these days? I mean, are people feel like, hey, I spent $60?
Well,
when your game. I'm sorry.
I know Game Pass, right? It's only cost you
No. I'm talking about, but like Brad just said, man, this Gears is an esports game. I mean, Gears campaign has never been more than 10 hours.
I literally have only played this, cared about the single player.
But that's fine. But you're Jay. I mean, there's millions of other people out here to play Gears, and the multiplayer is very popular. Now, I like horror. I don't play the 4-on-4 multiplayer too often because I kind of suck. But I love the horror mode. I put tons of hours in Gears for horror mode. Yeah. But I love the campaigns just as much as the next man. But there's a lot of content there. Is what the thing is a lot of content there. Yeah, I mean, yes, God of War had 40, 50 hours. Days Gone took forever to finish. Great games, but I'm going to play games like the same length of a time, if not more. Only there's multiplayer in there.
I get it. I'm just saying, but you're sitting there. You play a couple of sessions, 3 sessions, 2 hours apiece, and then the game's done. And if you're not a multiplayer guy, then you're good. You have to move on to the next thing. And so where's the next game?
Now, if you're not a multiplayer guy, play the campaign. Hey, you might not get your money's worth. I mean, that's
is anybody really interested?
That's what I'm saying. Luckily, there's Game Pass. If you
didn't take advantage of the 99 cents, it's $1.99 right now.
Yeah, that's the you problem, right, Moochie? If you take advantage,
absolutely.
Let me say this real quick. Is anybody here really interested that they hyped up that survival mode? I have zero interest in playing this whatsoever.
Escape? You talking about Escape?
Excuse me. Yeah, whatever.
I can care less about it.
Yeah, it looks totally like worthless to me, like a throwaway mode.
I'll give it a try. But
I'm gonna play the story mode. I'll play some multiplayer for a little bit, and then I'll move on.
I'll try. I might play a couple rounds of the multiplayer until I get screwed up.
Right there with Pred
with a keyboard and mouse player or something.
I mean, here's the thing. I'll be honest with you, myself personally. Crap kind of alluded to it in the beginning of the show. This is a me thing. Okay, so I'm not telling this is what's going to happen to the majority of Gears fans, but the fact that Gears 5 releases MSRP publicly 3 days before Borderlands 3. Myself personally, I'm going to play this thing in Ultimate Game Pass on now September 5th. Okay. I'm going to have that campaign, even if we all can agree, even if you want to go as far as 12 hours, but say 8 to 10 hours for a campaign, and you dabble a little bit in Gears Horde and multiplayer, I'll have that satisfied by the 13th. And then what's going to kind of pull me away from Gears is Borderlands 3. And I think it's going to pull a lot of people away. I think Borderlands 3 is like everyone's unknown favorite, right? It's not a game people really talk about, but it's a game everyone seems to love. So that game's going to pull me away. I got to be honest with you. I think it's bad to release it that close together. One of them should have been, if I had known, I mean, Gearbox and them, you can see they're not threatened by Gears. They're multi-plat game. If I was Gears, I may have wanted to go maybe the end of the month. I don't know. It depends. You might say, well, no, Gears shouldn't have to move for Borderlands 3. Well, that's kind of that's a toss up there. That's a great conversation piece. But I wouldn't want to pull my audience away from that game and that multiplayer experience so quickly, 5 days, 6 days after it launches, and then you've got this blockbuster in Borderlands 3 coming out. That myself personally, I could see after September 13th, I'll be playing Borderlands 3 pretty much the rest of September.
Hey, Moose, but also on the 6th, 2K comes out, and we know that's a big game also. I know it's a sports game, but still.
When 2K come out?
On the 6th, on the 6th. I know it's a sports game.
Borderlands 2. You got a lot of games coming around this exact
time. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, listen, like I'm saying, that's why I think Game Pass is cool. Like for me personally, I think it's going to be fine, and I'm looking forward to playing through the campaign. I've always been I like the multiplayer traditionally in the Gears of War games, but again, I just can't. Like this one seems like it's going to be kind of funky with the crossplay and stuff like that, and I have no desire to play in that sort of way. You know what I mean? Like playing against the keyboard and mouse thing just seems like a way to really screw over your fan base long term. Especially, I'm interested to see how they handle the Halo stuff, because I'm already seeing people like Halo definitely should be played keyboard and mouse. This is the future, blah blah blah. Like and I can just imagine that being a bigger seller on the PC than the next Xbox, and them needing to do crossplay because nobody's going to have an Xbox. You know, like I just feel like Microsoft is setting themselves up to really do poorly next generation by not caring if you buy their Xbox, by forcing crossplay. You know what I mean? Just in my opinion anyway, by saying, hey, you don't even need a next X. Like, I don't know, it just baffles my mind. Just completely kind of baffling to me anyway. But I also wanted to talk about this. Okay, this came 2 days after they said, we're not going to put our exclusives on anything else. Oh, but Ori's coming to the Switch, by the way. 2 days later, Microsoft said they hope to have Game Pass on all devices, which includes their exclusives, including on PlayStation and Nintendo. This is less than 2 days after Aaron Greenberg said no exclusives would be going to PlayStation or Nintendo anymore. To me, again, this is just the perfect, like literally within a 9-day period, they went back and forth and back and forth. And between 3 different people, by the way, you had Booty saying, depending on the studio and the game, they could be multi-plats. Then you had Greenberg saying, nope, no chance. They're making games exclusively for their platforms. And then 2 days later, you had the heads of their services going, yeah, we want our service on PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever, you know, your wristwatch, your toilet, whatever you can get. You know, Mooch, again, what's this mean to you? And what do you think? Like, to me, I think it's really, we should thank Sony for not, if it wasn't for Sony probably not allowing this stuff, we probably wouldn't have any competition whatsoever. We would just have Xbox games on whatever, because I 100% believe that Microsoft shopped the Master Chief Collection to PlayStation at some point this generation. I 100% believe that they've shopped Game Pass probably to Sony at some point. In fact, there were rumors that Game Pass was going to be announced at Xbox's E3 2 years ago. You know, I believe the only reason that there's not is because Sony's not allowing it.
It's, you know what I mean, crap. You're making some decent thoughts and points.
Oh, yeah,
but I got to be honest with you. With me, when you said, what does it mean to me? It's the same thing it's meant to me for about 2 years. And you guys have all heard me say it week in and week out. And I think a lot of people are writing me on Twitter and saying, Mooch, I kind of see where you're coming from now. The mixed messaging, it's the leadership. You know, it's the leadership. Jay said it himself. He's like, you know, I don't know this. He made this point. I don't really keep that much in tune with Sony's brass. But if Sony's top guys like Yoshida, etc., are going from game studio to game studio, observing the content and then critiquing it, you know, accordingly, that's good leadership. Where you had Phil a number of times report that Crackdown 3 was doing well, is on time, and he can't wait to get all of our opinion on it. And we all see how that did. So, I mean, you have every right as any kind of gamer. I don't care if you like Xbox or you like PlayStation. It doesn't matter. When you look at Xbox leadership, there's mixed messaging, there's crossed signals, there's just no finger on the pulse. You see them come out and say things like no crunch here. Listen, crunch has been made into this awful term by, you know, Kotaku and their writers. But realistically, I don't care if we're talking about people in college. I don't care if we're talking about somebody that just before at work has a presentation the next day. People are crunching and working to the wee hours of the night before a due date. We're all procrastinators, right? We all do that all the time. It's just a human function we all have built into us. So to come out and say we don't do that, what it tells me personally as a consumer is you're not pushing your staff.
Yep.
And if you've eaten at any kind of great restaurant in your local area, let me tell you something. Go ask anyone that works there what they think of the owner. You know what they're going to say? Lots of respect, but that person's an asshole. Yep. You know why? They are an asshole because they're making sure you, the consumer, have the best experience, best service, best plate.
Fact.
Okay? But you have to push your staff hard. You pay them well, you treat them well, but you push them hard. You get a good product out there. And that's something that I'm seeing from Sony's camp. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but I don't see that from Xbox leadership. And the sad part is I don't see it even with their new hires, and I don't see it happening in the near future at all.
Well, they have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians over there. They everything should be running through Phil. And the problem is they got Phil talking, they got Matt talking, they got, you know, fucking Shannon Loftus talking. They got everybody in the Xbox
because they want to be popular. They want to be out there. They want likes.
Hey, shut the fuck up. let me talk, run shit through me before you post
my tweet.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, you got too many people talking about stuff, and they don't even know the whole full details yet, and they got to get that shit locked down, dude. I don't understand what the fucking problem.
Well, the problem is, but here's the thing, though. It's again, you have to look at the captain. You always look at the captain. It doesn't matter who it is. Phil Spencer does not tell his staff how to act, right? So if your boss never tells you to stop, and you're coming to meetings late. And I'm embellishing here. I'm just using, this isn't what's happening at Xbox. But you go to meetings late. You're on the phone all the time. You show up 20 minutes late to work. You leave a half an hour early. Your boss never said anything. Guess what? You keep doing it, right? So
good and great.
So it's great. And that's the thing. So that's the thing. When you see this happening and you see all these, it's like everybody at Xbox wants to get likes off of their opinion or what they're gaming. That's not what they're there to do. They should be pushing their product forward in a positive light. And you'll be amazed. If anyone from Xbox is listening, if you want a lot of likes on Twitter, put out a hell of a product and just watch that like button light up.
Yep, that's true. Look, me and Crap see it all the time. We always kind of notice all the time that the Xbox studios, right? All their studios are always out sitting there having their lattes and coffee and just lollygagging around. You never really see them work. You don't see them at the computers like you see other developers crunching away with the little.
I gotta say, Jay, when you see Neil Druckmann and Neil, I always went back and forth with Neil, but I gotta tell you something. A lot of respect for the guy. Every time you see him, he's working crunch.
Exactly.
Every time, he's always like he's at a desk, he's working, he's got people in the studio next to him taking a shot. Yep. You see the controller on the table, you see something on the TV, they're working on some code. And every time I see something from Xbox, it's just like, here we are, Playground Games. Pass the S-car, go! Tweet! What?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're drinking coffee or they're eating a little cupcake. It's always something.
They're eating a little cupcake.
When are you guys ever working? Like,
oh man,
come on. Okay. I want to see somebody sweating. I want to see somebody with dirty hands getting grimy and showing me that they're cranking out a banger. Don't show me. Well, you got. They just hired you guys. Why are you not working? Why are you vacationing? You don't start a job on Monday and you go on vacation on Tuesday. Like, no, you gotta. But that's the difference. It shows you the two work ethics, right? Anybody know? And I'll back Mooch up on what he just said about the any company that you go at, that you work at. There are times that you have crunch times. There's deadlines. There's just sometimes you need to make sure things right. You stay up late. You're stressing about things. That's what they pay you for. And let's stop with but you're working the developers too hard. No, look, guys, a lot of these guys are contract works, right? They get paid by the contract for the project, right? After this game is over and it's finished, they move on to another job or another position or another game that has for that project. These guys get paid handsomely for what they do. Who wants to pay these guys $100,000-$200,000 to sit there and have lattes all day and then crank out a 50 or 60 rated game?
Oh, come on, man. Come on. Okay, that's enough, Jay. Damn it.
What, you don't like lattes?
No. Okay, guys. Stop.
Tell us.
Now listen. Huh? Now,
tell us, man. Tell us.
Yeah. Okay. Now listen. I'm gonna be honest here. Now, as far as the messaging, it's absolutely terrible. It's so inconsistent, and it's frustrating to a guy like me, right? For obvious reasons, it is frustrating. Just one voice, please. Just one voice. Everybody else, hush. Now, as far as the eating cupcakes and Slim Jims and shit.
It's the truth. It's crap.
Okay, hold on. Okay, man. Listen. I understand what you're saying. I mean, okay, they take a picture at lunchtime. By law, you're allowed to lunch, J-Dub. So these people, they want to eat a lunch and eat a cupcake and
take their nap.
Take their nap. Hey, if they have a 30-minute lunch or hour lunch, they can take a nap in their lunch as long as they're back before lunch, like lunch is over. Now, anyway, but I understand what you guys are saying. It's all fun and games and funny, but I don't hate what they're doing as far as the people having good time. At the same time, they're working because they are working. I mean, They just took a picture when they happened to be bullshitting. I mean, you know, that's pretty obvious. But
yeah, but you're talking about 4 years of bullshit.
Okay, Moose, you do have a point there because the games hasn't been quality.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, Dirt, let me just say in defense to the Xbox staff, okay? They can take pictures of whatever they want. That's their prerogative. I'm not here to tell them that. But all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it's got, you know, the work can't reflect the pictures. You know, if you send pictures out every day, Dirt, of you on the beach chilling, drinking, okay, and your work is suffering, you can't be like, well, I've been working hard. I'd be like, well, you got Dirt, all I see you doing is building sand castles and drinking.
No, I agree with you, Moose, but these are the new studios that they just acquired, man. We don't know if they're going to make.
I'm talking about the Xbox. I'm not talking about just the studios. I'm also talking about the executives. It's just, you know, it's just like you look at. It is what it is. If they don't want to show them working, that's fine.
But I remember you saying the same thing about Kojima, though, Mooch. Over the years, you always said about Kojima. What the hell is this guy? Yeah, he's never working. What is he doing?
That's right. Well, but let's keep in mind, though, when I was making those tweets, he wasn't working.
That's true. That's true.
He wasn't working.
He did say that they're crunching, though. They got to crunch.
Right.
Yeah. So he did say that. So,
you know,
I gotta say this, though. If it comes down to it, and games, it seems like that when they're crunching games, those games turn out better. And if Microsoft's idea is not to have any crunch and just, 40-hour work weeks, I don't see how they're ever going to get anything done. I mean, even this country, imagine if people are like, I can only put in my 40 hours and then I'm done. Like nothing would ever get done. Nothing would have ever have gotten done. Yeah. Like, it's like in the industry, there's always people that are ready and willing to do more. So I'm always saying, hey, like these people get paid a lot of money. Put in the hours. You want to do a quality thing. Like everybody's job. Look, like I'll use an example. This is a moochism, but it's not about food, but it is what I consider moochism. I'm about to go through a hurricane. You know what happens when you go through a hurricane? The local weathermen hunker down in the studios and they're on air almost 24/7.
Yep.
Right? Is that crunch?
Yep.
No, that's their job.
That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy.
That's their job, right? Their job is to go out there and to do that. So I would say it's these people's jobs to get out there and do a great game. And we haven't seen that from Microsoft. Maybe this Gears of War will be it. I hope so. But when you think about it, okay, even though we've gotten, CFDs, which, some people consider AAA, some don't. But the last balls to the wall, AAA, no holds barred, like something that really just was amazing looking game that we got was the last Gears of War, which was 2016. So like, even though you might count something like Gears of War 4 as like Gear, like some of these other things, it's almost been 3 years since we've had like this really big showpiece for our consoles. And I think that's really a shame. And I'm hoping that this is going to be something that gets everybody excited. I want to be excited by this game and go, man, I was so wrong about it. It's great. 10 out of 10, like that's how I want to be. Will I be like that? I don't really know. I'm hoping that they knocked it out of the park. Rod is passionate about this franchise, and I said this to Mooch, I think, on Sunday. Rod is passionate about Gears of War, and it shows, right? Those games, I think the game's going to be great. Now, when I look at Halo, and I know Xbot isn't going to like to hear this, I'm not sure that 343 has the chops or the passion to do a Halo game great. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, just in my opinion anyway, that they're more of a cover band than even the Coalition are. Ooh. And I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not really sold on Gears of War, or the next Halo being this great thing. Hopefully it is. But I do think that, we're gonna have a good time watching and finding out exactly what happens.
Go ahead. Enough of these passion projects from these studios. I want them to see. I want to see some curated games to come out that are highly rated, and I do want to see those guys be passionate about it.
Do you really, Jay? Do you really want to see?
I do. I really do.
I do too. I want to see these people.
I believe you, Crab, but I don't believe Jay.
Listen, Jay was a 360 fan.
Jay needs more ammunition, man. Jay needs more ammunition to troll Xbox dudes
this generation than anybody. So it's I give them a lot of shit because it's well deserved.
It is.
It really is. I can't listen. There's a lot of content there. If they take the content away, then I have nothing to say. I'll have to move on. But
Kate of Wars 5, guys. I can hardly wait. I hear they're doing these weird mix-ups, right? Like the Terminator and Halo, and I heard they're gonna do a Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel outfit for Kate. You know what I mean? Here's Kate flying around, saving the day.
Hey, and
she's great.
his transportation in Halo Infinite is going to be a Forza car. I heard
It is.
Oh, shit.
I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait. Listen.
Deep water.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Look at that water, guys. I mean, look, that's what Xbox guys brag about, right? Water, Gears Pop, Phil Spencer. He's so handsome.
Oh shit.
Oh, sorry.
So buff.
What Xbox guys you follow,
He's been
bro?
working out.
Hey, no, I hear the listen. When Aaron Greenberg at Gamescom was like, at XO, we're gonna have all these surprises, and if you thought that the announcers are great here, wait till then. And I laughed, and then he goes, the man himself is gonna be there, Phil Spencer, and everybody's like, Phil Spencer, he said it. Oh my god! Like I've never seen people react that way over this guy who's like clearly trying to sell people like a bridge, whatever, you know what I mean? He's just like, hey man, I'm Phil Spencer. And even that article that GameSpot did that was all about, they're like, he looks more like a football coach than a gamer or whatever. And I'm like, God, man, how much ass kissing can you do? Yep. But it's like, I guess it is what it is. So Sony basically outdid Microsoft's entire Gamescom by buying Insomniac Games, and outdid every purchase, in my opinion, that Microsoft made in terms of game studios. Insomniac are just head and shoulders above all the studios that Microsoft bought. Proven track record, 20-plus year developer, maybe a 30-year developer, I don't know, but 25 years, something like that. Now it's rumored that Sony is going to buy Remedy Entertainment. Not even just rumored. Apparently, there's been inquiries that have come up. And I'm telling you, people track down stuff nowadays, right? So apparently Guerrilla Games has posted something. There's a little clue there where they were like, I guess they helped out a bit. Yoshida visited Remedy Games. Remedy Games visited Naughty Dog. I guess Guerrilla Games had something to do here.
By the way, not to cut you off, Crap, but yeah, Kojima is actually in the game.
Kojima's in the game.
Kojima's actually in the game. I just posted on Twitter. I just literally found out that he has a cameo in the game.
Oh wow! Oh dang, yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So wow, man. I mean, listen.
Jeff Keighley in there too?
No, Jeff Keighley. Wait, I just saw that. You just posted that. Jeff Keighley is actually in the game. That's interesting. So Kojima and them congratulated him. Naughty Dog,
all of Sony's first party,
Insomniac Games, and then Remedy responded, "Our senses tingling" or something like that, right? Like, I mean, come on. I think
it's pretty obvious at this point.
The world's worst kept secret.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, because look, Microsoft gave up the Alan Wake IP. And why would you do that, right? Probably because this is going to happen. And I know people get pissed off when I say this, but I'll throw a name out. Ask Grand Outdoor what Phil Spencer's view of Alan Wake really is, or his view of Remedy Entertainment. And I guarantee he'll be honest and tell you that from what he's heard, that Remedy is not his favorite developer, and he wasn't a big fan of Alan Wake.
Yeah.
So that's why we never got a sequel.
Because they take too long to make games.
Hey, I'm getting slaughtered in the chat. Hey, I'm sorry about that. I know I spoiled it for you guys, but I literally just ran across it on Engadget on Twitter, and I didn't know.
Yeah, Jay, stop spoiling stuff.
How's that a spoiler? Kojima's got a little cameo in the game. I think that's cool. But anyway, I feel like them picking up Remedy, which by the way, they're realistically way more of a Sony style studio than Xbox style studio. Single player narrative driven games.
One and done.
And listen, one and done. I'll put my 6 to 8 hours in God of War and be done, but I'm really gonna spend 100. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna go there. I can't wait to spend hundreds of hours. No, don't do it, Crap. Don't do it. No. So
that's great.
But listen, those two studios are huge and much bigger studios than what Microsoft had bought. And I think that this, again, we Xbox fans again asked for an Alan Wake 2, a Quantum Break 2.
Ask the audience, Crap, real quick. If everybody in the audience could just for a second pretend we don't know what we know right now. If we said a year ago or a year and a half ago, Insomniac and Remedy will go over here, and Double Fine, Obsidian, Compulsion, and Ninja Theory will go here. where do you think they'd go? Everybody would look and say, well, clearly Insomniac and Remedy would cost more money. That's probably, out of Sony's wheelhouse. That's got to be a Microsoft buy. And it's just funny to see because Insomniac and Crap made this point. I got to say it again. This is a good point. Usually you buy when stocks are low.
Yeah.
Insomniac right now, their stock, their stock's got to be worth, but I'm joking here, more than Apple. Yeah. In the gaming world, in the gaming space right now, they are
a game that almost sold 14 million and will probably sell maybe close to 20 by the end of the year.
Crap, I got to be honest with you. In all respect to God of War, and I think God of War myself personally is better than Spider-Man. But that's my opinion.
Yeah,
but for the generation, Spider-Man is probably maybe remembered more.
That's true.
So that's my point being here is Sony went and bought Insomniac at their highest asking price. Period.
Yeah,
like the highest they've ever been asked. I'm sure Sony went there, and I'm pretty sure Ted Price was like, I gotta go pick up my laundry. If you could throw a couple more zeros on that, Yoshida, this is my secretary's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not even gonna sit down and talk to him unless these were the numbers and this is the negotiation. That's how unbelievable that buy is. You would think that that's something that Microsoft would have to fork over that kind of cash. So myself personally, when you sit there and look at that, if they get Remedy and Insomniac, and then you look at it, two new acquired companies by Sony, and then you've got
to go with Sucker
11,
Punch, Naughty Dog, Sony Santa Monica.
Right.
Good Lord! At some point, there's like a 7 or a 10 run rule in Little League. At some point, Microsoft plays in the little leagues. You got to call the game, right? Sony's not playing around. Honestly, look. Colin Moriarty, if you guys listen, he does a really great podcast. I like this guy because he's one of those guys that kind of got screwed over by making a joke or so. You know what I mean? People hate the guy. I can relate to that. Like I've said stupid stuff that were jokes or whatever. People took it way wrong. And I like his podcast. He's like no frills, just kind of, and he has some ins and stuff like that with the industry. And he's talked about Insomniac Games before. Sony's tried to buy them multiple times. Microsoft tried to buy them before as well, and they always got turned down. So the fact that they now agreed to a Sony buyout really goes to show you that there's a great relationship there or whatever. And not only that, but it just is kind of a slap in the face and shows how incompetent and impotent Phil Spencer is, because we asked for an Alan Wake 2, we asked for a Quantum Break 2, we asked for a Sunset Overdrive 2, and now none of those things are possible. We're the ones asking for this stuff. We've gotten 0 games that we've asked for, aside from I think Battletoads. So we'll figure out how that ends, right? Like remember when he had the Battletoads shirt on and everybody's like, Battletoads, it's coming back. And then we got that kick-ass. Yeah, we got that kick-ass Battletoad.
It happens a lot.
Killer Instinct, right?
If you step back and you look at a lot of things in business, sometimes Phil Spencer was a game creator for so long.
Yeah.
And then he was in charge of Xbox Game Studios. Okay, now hear me out real quick, guys. Sometimes when you take the technical lead because it's their next turn in line to be the boss, sometimes you're not a great boss. He's a hell of a technical lead. And I think that when it comes down to it, everybody thinks it's easy when you're just the head of Sony or the head of Xbox to sit down at a table and do a negotiation and make a deal.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do that. It's not. And people think it's simple because, whip out the checkbook and start writing up. That's not really how. It's not that simple. Yeah. So when it comes down to it, I think Phil is an outstanding game developer. I think he did great in the position of leading Matt Booty's position now. But I really, truly don't think he can get deals cut. With that kind of deals like Insomniac. To go pick up Compulsion Games. And you saw Ninja Theory, right? Ninja Theory was like, we almost didn't even have a place to turn the lights on anymore. You know what I mean? It's like that whole Timothy story, right? So that was not a hard, you walk in with a checkbook to somebody who's starving. Yeah, that's not a hard pickup, right? But if you walk into a studio where they're literally playing the Michael J. Fox theme song of Walking on Sunshine after they sold 18 million copies, okay? It's hard to be like, can you guys sit down, please? Can somebody please turn off the Michael J. Fox soundtrack? I want to cut a deal. So, that's the thing. This is a tough thing. And somebody at Sony got the deal done.
They did.
Now, guys, let me say this.
Let's face it. This is what it is, right? And this is any business. You can take this, what I say, when it goes to sports, everything. Everyone likes a winner, right? Everyone likes a winner. No one wants to go where there's a struggle, there's an uphill climb. You want to go to the championship, the championship warriors. Everyone wants to go to the championship team and get a ring and stuff like that. And right now, Sony is the champion with the ring, and everyone wants to go there. So even companies that say, "Now we would normally sell, we want to stay independent," they know they go to Sony, right? Hey, they cut Kojima a great deal. They let him do his own thing. They don't bother him. They give him all his money. He can do whatever he wants. Well, shit, let's go over to Sony. They'll do that. They don't push us. They don't do this.
Yeah.
And they have a great track record, and they have that open relationship. And at the end of the day, shouts out to Sean Layden, Hideo Kojima, and the rest of those guys over there. But they're worldwide, right? So they have a higher reach. They have a further reach. And it's just a quality about them. There's quality control. And they have 5 or 6 games right now that have sold 6+ million 10 plus million copies this generation alone. People want to go to a winner.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Say something right quick, Crap. This has been a fantastic generation for Sony, obviously.
Yeah.
If you look at their studios, man, those studios have been with those guys for years.
Yeah.
From
their
the
last
PS1
studio, their last studio purchase was in 2011, which was Sucker Punch.
Right.
When they came out, Infamous or Infamous 2, whichever one that was, I forget which one. But
even before they purchased Sucker Punch, they were still making games for those guys.
Yeah.
With
they were smart.
Cooper and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So Sony has nurtured these studios over the years, and I give them full credit because these studios are fantastic. Even Sony Ben, didn't they make a Siphon Filter back on the PS1?
They made Siphon Filter, and I'm telling you right now, Days Gone is a completely different game, and that's on Sony too. I'll blame Sony for that, sending out their review copies without a patch. But that game is a night and day difference in how it performs right now than when it launched. All day, if anybody were to review that game now, it's an 80-something Metacritic. I'm telling you,
I enjoy Days Gone. It took forever to finish, but I enjoy Days Gone. But so if you look at Microsoft team versus Sony team, of course, Sony has the championship team right now. Microsoft are just getting these studios. They have to nurture these studios. Hopefully they do nurture these studios because in the past they haven't nurtured their studios or their IP. So I'm hoping that Microsoft can build with these studios over the years, give these studios the budgets they need, the time they need, the resources they need to make some quality studios. But like I said, as of right now, Sony team versus Microsoft team is not close at the moment. But we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah. Well, they took off. To be fair, Microsoft took off for what? How many years, Crap? It was what, 3 years?
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years where they didn't do literally anything.
Absolutely.
So Microsoft is 3 years behind because
You're
while they weren't doing anything, Sony was investing in creating and nurturing their IP, like you just said. Nintendo was coming out with a brand new console. They were prepping the Switch.
Absolutely.
Which is kicking ass and taking names. So these companies, Nintendo and Sony, hasn't stood still. And in order for Microsoft to catch up, Sony and Nintendo would have to sit still for 3 years.
Yeah, like I agree. Y9 Power says, hell, we didn't get Xbox or we didn't get One X 4K we asked for either. Dual Purpose says Xbox Live is down. Now you may not have noticed it because you already have no game. This is very true. So I've heard that Xbox is down or whatever. So it's not. I haven't.
Microsoft reported earlier.
Oh, okay. So yeah, again, this whole PlayStation Network versus Xbox Live thing and streaming in the future, like it says health is. Oh, they're not receiving data. What's up, Sully?
Sully!
He said OBS. He said OBS is tripping.
Okay, I didn't hear him. Now it looks like it's kicking back in.
It's
back.
It's back.
Yeah, it looks like it's back. Man, OBS, right? Holy cow. Go ahead and hit the like button if you guys are coming back. It's back. It's good. Sorry about that, y'all. Where the heck was I, guys? I was talking about Ashen. Yeah, Ashen. So again, they said no, the Ashen wasn't going to come to to any other platforms. Microsoft really marketed it as their own thing. Remember, Xbox guys talked this game up.
Yeah, including yourself, sir.
Yeah, did I talk it up? I don't remember if I talked.
I was hyped for it.
In my right mind.
They talked about it for like 3 years.
Phil Spencer was all like, "Games are coming! Wow, it's great." You know what I mean? I was believing him. I believed him. Listen, I'm not gonna lie about it. I believe Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer was like, hey, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. And I was like, Megaton, Phil Spencer, he's the man. I believe in Phil. Trust the process. I was all that crap, right? Much better than that nowadays, by the way. But yeah, so this game goes to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. Can we ever trust that a game, other than like maybe Halo, Gears, and Forza, will not go to another platform? Because, yeah, go ahead, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, can I go first on this one, crap?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay. Of course. Yeah. They did announce this game as a console launch exclusive. They did.
Yeah.
So we already kind of knew.
Launch exclusive, huh?
Well, no, that's what they said. It was a console launch exclusive when the game released on Xbox. They said that from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So, by being a console launch exclusive, that obviously means it's going to go somewhere else, PlayStation, Switch. So we're here now. As far as those other games ever going to another platform, besides Halo, Gears, and Forza, I think Prez said this a couple weeks ago. Besides Minecraft and the games that was already multi-plat, and also the new studios, the deals they already had in place, there has been no games on Xbox that went to the other platforms. It's all hearsay. Yeah, it's not happening.
Ori and
Cuphead, Ori. I mean, yeah, but those few games, there has been no other games. We keep on saying this, but it hasn't happened yet. Besides Ori, Cuphead, and Ori is an old game, and Cuphead, Do you guys know what I'm saying? I said
the studios that Microsoft purchased. I'm trying to requote myself here, but like all the studios that Microsoft purchased, with the exception of the games that are already produced or already in development, none of those games have gone over to another platform.
Right, but that's my point. We keep on saying it's gonna. I mean, it could eventually happen, but I don't think it's gonna be like a big game going over there.
I think a lot of the games that were already under development, they decided to let that happen. I think the newer games that they come out with later are not going to go. That's just my personal opinion.
I agree with you.
So what you're saying is you don't think if an Outer Worlds 2 comes out that it'll go to PlayStation?
I don't think that game will go to PlayStation.
Okay. That's interesting because
just my opinion.
To me, Minecraft Dungeons would have been a perfect game to maybe have exclusive on your console for a year at least. A lot of people really like that.
Yeah, but Minecraft is
I get the Minecraft thing or whatever, but that's something that
when you want to double dip an IP, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure Phil's got some kind of paperwork and metrics to prove me wrong here, but I don't understand why you wouldn't want to double dip a little bit. You know what I mean? Something like Minecraft Dungeon, have it exclusive to your platform. Pardon me. So it gives people a reason to go out, buy the console, or just buy it on Windows 10. It doesn't matter, whatever. Then after 6 months or so, you release it to the masses. The people who are not going to buy on Windows 10 or not buy an Xbox One, if they're like, no, I'm strictly on PlayStation, that's it, period. Or I'm only on Switch, period. That's it. 6 months later, guess what? They'll buy it over there because that's where they want to play Minecraft. So when they keep doing this whole, like, we're going to launch everything, I still don't understand why they did that with their first-party games. I would have put all first-party games into Game Pass 3 months, 90 days, however you want to advertise it, 30 days. Because look at the way things go on YouTube right now. I mean, there's people who write me all the time. They're like, oh, Mooch, I saw your stream and I see you tweeting pictures out. I wasn't going to get Control, but I'm bored and I can't wait another week for Gears. I'm going to buy Control. Yeah. Right? They don't want to wait because they're like, this is when people are talking about it. They could have very easily took their first-party games and sold those games day one exclusively to the Xbox and Windows 10 store, period. Yeah. And then put it in the Game Pass 30 days later. It doesn't hurt Game Pass. It doesn't change anything. All it does is it gives the Windows 10 store and the Xbox store a reason to exist. But when you put it out there all over the place for everyone to get for 99 cents, and now people are like, well, I'll just play it on my PC. Yeah. That's fine, right?
For some reason, they're just avoiding the console, or is it just the messaging? I
don't know what it is, Jay. I don't know if it's that or, the other thing that Phil came out and said, and we said this earlier in the show, was that he does not agree with exclusive content. Yeah. And what he doesn't understand is if everybody was obeying the book of Phil, he would be right.
Yeah.
True. But the thing is, though, Sony and Nintendo are like, okay, so Phil not buying any exclusive content. That means we can.
Yeah.
So when Phil says I'm not going to keep content from gamers, the other companies are keeping content from his customers.
And that's Phil's downside because Phil is a gamer. He's not a businessman.
But
but everybody else is a businessman on Microsoft.
You cannot be the head of a corporation, right? You cannot be the head of a division of a corporation and not be aware of the one financial aspect of it, and two of your the competition.
They got somebody else handling the financial aspect of it. Phil just handles the process.
I understand that, but his decisions directly go towards the bottom dollar.
I know, and they're profitable though.
No, I get that they're profitable, but you got to realize, right? How are they going to get to 2 billion? Maybe that's just me, right? I don't see how in the hell they get to 2 billion gamers if you don't try to go and get the 100 plus million PlayStation gamers or the 30, almost 40 something million Nintendo gamers.
You already know the answer to that. You just don't want to admit it. You already know the answer. You just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, they want
to put everything on Game Pass. They want to put Game Pass everywhere. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Well, but the thing about Game Pass, right? And I think it's a great service. I think it's great. I'll get to play the latest games from Microsoft for $1. While I think it's great, they just don't have the games that's going to keep me there, right? I'm going to play Gears. I'm going to beat it maybe 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever. And I'll never probably touch the game ever again. My subscription going to be up until next year, until or when the Blind Forest come out. And I mean, let's just face it, that's just what it is, because I don't have to sign up long term. My $10 that I would normally pay for Xbox Game Pass is going to go to Disney Plus or something else.
Right.
Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Woo! Man, I'm excited for that, man. Finally, they did something. I'm excited.
No, it's going to go to Google Stadia. How about that?
Founders or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God you're here for that. I mean, honestly, these guys.
You said the wrong fucking words. You said Google.
You say Google Stadia. These guys are all like, "What are you going to goof the internet, dude? Listen to what people are doing. Crap, you think the hurricane's bad? If the internet went out, it'd be martial law."
I'd pile up my consoles, man. I'd be just sitting there shaking, like, "Oh man, what do I got to do?"
Be fair. Right now, we're podcasting, and Xbox Live is down. So guess what? It's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, for me, the difference is like I've noticed, and this is what I've noticed. I mentioned this to Mooch, though, right? I mentioned this to Mooch. We're seeing games be delisted now. What happens when your game is a stream only game? And they have to delist it.
Literally, 100,000 video games. There's like 4 that are delisted.
Yeah. Dude, that's actually a lot more than that.
But it's all right. 10? Like, who cares?
Well, no. Dude,
which ones are you playing, though? Which ones are you playing religiously? If you really want to go back and play.
Google did say if you buy a game on their platform and they have to delist it or take it down or whatever, that you will have a way to continue to play your game.
How?
I don't know if they're going to have backup servers or they're going to allow you. I have no idea, but that's what they said.
Awesome, dude. I mean, that would be great. To me, I have no interest whatsoever about that. But if it works out, man, I hope it works out good for you. I just think that Google's plan is they want people to use Stadia as we use our consoles in our homes right now, and I don't think people are going to use it for that. I think some people are going to use it for, on the road, like Mooch is going to do it. I'm not sure how you plan on using it, but honestly, I just think most people are just going to use it here and there, and it's not going to be sustainable for them to keep pushing this stuff because you're going to need it.
It's not costing them anything.
No. It's costing them a lot, though, isn't it?
Not.
I mean, you got to pay.
Google Stadia is going to be my Xbox replacement. Phil told me.
Get out of here,
man!
Play any and everywhere, and so that's what I'm going to do.
Man, that's
Jay,
wild. That's wild.
When they come out, listen. When
Jay,
Microsoft finally release bangers, right? Eventually they'll release a banger. They have to, right? They kind of have to.
Did you see that long lineup for Google Stadia, bro?
Somebody showed.
Remember all the games, Dirt, earlier in the show when you were like, Xbox has got the marketing rights to Borderlands. Xbox has got the marketing rights. Yeah, all those games you mentioned that are third party, they're all on Google Stadia day one.
And then guess what? Google Stadia actually has exclusives.
So are these guys saying the multiplayer matter?
No, I'm just saying they actually have exclusive. They care about exclusive. So they have developers.
Listen. The other thing everyone's Jay
over time.
Jay, the other thing everyone's you are right with the exclusives. Now the exclusives are smaller games, but hear me out real quick. Yeah. They're already using the word exclusives, but hear me out. This November is a soft launch.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So when you want to really start critiquing Google, see what they say after E3.
Yep.
Next year, they're doing a soft launch. They're not even doing a full launch.
Right, and I give them to E3 when we've been giving Microsoft to E3 for the last 70 years.
I'm interested in Google. I'm totally interested in Google.
Anybody who's into xCloud and says they're not into Google,
I'm interested.
You got to go look yourself in the mirror.
Hey, those people are only into xCloud because it's an Xbox thing. I don't think like that takes a certain kind of person to put xCloud in my name.
You can't be excited. You can't be excited.
Hey, come on, man. Put Stadia in my name.
Jay, no. I'm interested in Google Stadia and xCloud. I mentioned before how at my job sometimes I have downtime and that would be perfect for me.
Yes.
But Jay, you're saying that you're replacing the Xbox with Google Stadia?
Yes, why not? What am I going to be missing?
Okay.
Name me some games that I'm going to be missing. Go ahead.
On Google Stadia?
Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite, Gears 5, whatever the hell.
Wait. Gears 5 is coming out in a handful of days. So I'm going to beat that 6 hours, right? Okay, I beat it. God, what's next?
Okay, so you're talking about after Google Stadia comes out, you said you're done with Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Okay, shit. I mean, whatever these games they're working on. I don't know what they're working. I don't know what these studios are working on, but they're obviously working on something that's not going to be a Google Stadia.
Okay. You cannot sell me Xbox going forward, right? You can't. You just tried and you can't. But let me tell you what's
I don't know what they're working on, but they're obviously working on.
$120 bought me 2 controllers. It bought me a buddy pass for 3 months. It bought me 4K gaming. It bought me Destiny.
4K gaming.
Wait, listen, the complete thing for free, right? And then on top of that, I have Guilt. I have Orcs Must Die. I have Baldur's Gate.
Orcs Must Die. Get the hell out of here with this shit.
Exclusively.
Orcs Must Die. So that's the big exclusive you're talking about.
Wait, Dirt, you can't sit here and be talking about. You were giving a shit for not liking Bleeding Edge. If he likes Orcs, I'd rather play Orcs than Bleeding Edge.
Hey, Sir X-Man.
Oh my God!
Let me finish. Come on, Dirt. Let me finish.
Come on, man. Orcs must die. Orcs must die. You got
Bleeding Edge. That's like Overwatch, but Mooch and Crap produced it.
Hey, I gotta say this real quick, man. Sir X-Man says Microsoft has a new exclusive racing wheel, a la 360. So they got more exclusive things, but no exclusive games. I'm hoping at this point that we get Xbox Scarlet can actually craft its own AAA exclusives. So, right? It's going to be sentient, and it's going to make it.
Crap, let me.
Phil Spencer has already nixed that. He said, "No man left behind."
Let me say this much. Let me
believe in generations.
Don't overlook this fact too, Dirt. This is something I was going to actually help Jay with this. There's talk, and it's all rumor. It's all rumor. But there's talk that the way Google's really going to make their platform grow is there like Origins, okay? Blizzard. They're going to allow, what is it there? Pardon me, Xbox Game Pass. Why wouldn't, if Microsoft was rumored to be shopping the Master Chief Collection on Sony's platform, why wouldn't they want to have Xbox Game Pass on Stadia?
Because they're direct competition. They don't want to play with.
12 months ago, I thought Sony
don't want to play with Google like that.
They apparently don't care about that.
Exactly. They don't want to be friends with Google.
Microsoft tried to pitch Gears of War and Halo to Sony. Yeah. Let that tell you they don't care about the competition. They don't care.
They don't care. They
want to get that. They don't consider Sony competition like they consider Google competition
because they got their butts whooped this generation.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, bro. I mean, everybody was here now.
So listen, you have Google, right? Google says, look, we are not the Netflix of gaming. We don't want to sell our shit for $1. That's not what we want to do.
No.
I am interested. I am totally interested in Google Stadia.
I'm just saying,
I just can't understand
what Google is offering when Microsoft is offering the exact same thing, but because it's Xbox on it.
Right. That's what I don't understand. That's where my confusion. Everyone's literally saying, I hate Stadia. I can't wait to get my hands on xCloud. And I'm like, what?
Exactly. I'm not saying that, Mooch. I'm not saying that.
No, and
I'm just questioning Dave.
I'm not saying no, Dirt. I'm not saying you are. This is what. But the other thing is, though, it's got such a negative connotation to it right now. Stadia does that everyone's just like fearful of saying I want to try it. Listen, I'm trying it out.
Right. Me too.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm trying it out. There's people on this panel that bought the Ultimate Edition for State of Decay 2 for $100, and they're regretting that. Okay? So my point is, if you did that, this is $120 out of pocket. Like Jay said, controllers. I get the actual the hub, right? So I can actually use that for anything else too. Not just that, I can use that for Google Chrome. What is it? Chromecast. I can use that anytime I want. Yeah. I got that. I got 3 months of the pro service myself. I get 3 months I can gift to somebody else. I also get the better controller, right? Yeah. My point being is this. That's not bad. Just the hardware alone, retail MSRP, I got my money back.
Yep.
So now I'm going to go ahead. And then you guys know I love Destiny. You already know that. Mm-hmm. So now with cross-save and all that, now I can go play Xbox Destiny 2 all I want, and the minute I hit the road, I can do all of the stuff that I was going to do, all my missions, all my strikes, anything I had to do to keep up, and I can do that on the road, on the go, and I get all the DLC, everything up until the very new launch. That's unbelievable.
And guess what, Mooch? On top of that, right, you're getting true 4K 60. None of the compromise.
That's the other thing, and people kind of laugh. I heard Dirk kind of chuckle at that. But here's the thing: I can't speak. Listen, there's half the panel that's got. I got 1 gig up, 1 gig down. I got Verizon Files. I'm gonna try out that 4K service. Yep. I'm
gonna try out too, but
right?
4K 60 though. I don't know.
But what I'm saying to you is now xCloud's saying 1080p max. Am I right or am I wrong on that? So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I heard. Because, you've got, and somebody else, Jay, I think you were saying this. I'll let you take the mic, but you were saying something a week or two ago about how Google's infrastructure based off of PC gaming and Microsoft is based off of Xbox One S's.
Exactly. And then on top of that, they came out and announced, I think it was earlier today or early this week, that they've already upgraded the hardware in their servers. So it was 10.7 T-flops. Well, now it's even more powerful than that because they already upgraded the hardware in there.
I'm just saying, I don't think, when everybody dismisses Google, somebody was on Twitter and everybody was retweeting it. It had nothing to do with Stadia. It was when somebody said, these are the top 6 companies.
Yes.
And right? And I think it went, I can't remember now who was number 1. But you had Apple was number 2.
And Amazon.
Amazon was 1, Google was 3, Microsoft was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying to you is it's not about that. That's irrelevant. But we're talking about the big ballers out there. Yep. These guys can throw the money, and it's not costing them much. They already got the servers in place.
Exactly. They're just using what they already have. They're leveraging it.
And Predator, you're here. I keep bringing this up, and it's always on like M&C, and you're not on the show. You played Assassin's Creed on the beta that came out like 6-7 months ago.
Yeah.
How did it play? You said it was great.
Yeah, it was fine. I had already been playing Assassin's Creed on the Xbox, and it worked. So
7 months ago.
But again, a single player game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens when people don't live right next door to one of these servers or don't have the best internet? I think that's going to be something that's going to be kind of questionable.
We have to see, right? Here's the thing about it, right? That is, we're gonna have to see, but it wouldn't be no different than like right now. Crap, you say you have shitty internet because
it's not great. Yeah.
Right? So in your case, your experience is going to be exact same what you have now with Xbox and PlayStation.
Well, my experience, I don't know. I mean, if I play on my Pro or my Xbox One X, man, I can play in 4K or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's, I like that. I'm a visual type person, so
it may not be for everybody, but think about it again. It's an option. It's an alternative.
Right, it's just an option.
Yeah, and again, this is not going to be my main thing, right?
I say that every single show. I try to remind people that it is not going to be my main way to game. But realistically, if I can even get 1080p while I'm chilling in a backyard, I mean, that's just a no-brainer. But then if I actually can grab 4K because I'm in my own backyard and I got 1 gig up, 1 gig down, I'm playing in 4K on like chilling in the backyard. That's crazy.
Phil Spencer comes out and says, I mean, would you ship that? I mean, he comes in the office in the interview with the guy.
Why are you talking about Xbox again?
He's shitting on XCloud, right?
Well, that's the competition, Dirt.
Yeah, that's directly competition. So he's basically feels like, no, this thing is don't work.
And when they asked Phil Harrison, are you going to run another beta? He's like, nope, we're shipping it.
Yep. That is that confidence. I mean, it's I don't know, but I had the.
I don't think it's going to be. Listen, I don't think. Listen, and Jay, you always got to have a disclaimer out there, right? Yeah. I do not think the day it launches, it's going to be a hot knife through butter. Okay.
No.
I'm not saying that.
We're talking about, but we're talking about a year later, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about 2 years later. We're talking about something. I mean, we're talking about the future because prior to Stadia coming out, right, when it was just Project Cloud or Project whatever they stream or whatever that they had, everyone was talking about xCloud. Everyone was talking about Microsoft's their streaming platform and all. Everyone was on board. But as soon as Google come out and show what they have, then it's, oh no, that's not going to work. Oh, we're not ready for this. We're not ready for that. It's like, come on, guys, you got to keep that same energy.
No, I agree with you on that one. I'm looking forward to Stadia, man, because I love new technology. I'm a 42-year-old guy that fully embraces new technology, and I can't wait for it.
Listen, there's a reason they removed Google Hangouts, right? So rumor has it is that they're going to implement a Hangout type feature on Google Stadia. So when you're playing your games, someone can hit a button, join your queue, join your match. They can join you live. You can podcast from it. You can do there's just a lot of features.
There's a lot of things you can do with it.
Offer you,
and not just that. Google's also rumored, Jay. And I know this is for crap. They're going to be offering. Well, thanks, Rumpel. They're going to be offering achievements or their version of achievements too. So anybody who loves achievements or trophies, they're going to have their own version of that. So
crossplay. And guess what, Mooch? There's crossplay with the consoles as well.
That's right.
Well, listen, if it does good, I'll say, hey, it does good. I think it's going to close up shop in 2.5, 3 years. But
I don't see how.
Listen, that's just I think Microsoft is going to close up shop with that too. I think it's going to be something. It's going to go from something they talk a lot about to something they didn't talk anything about. They're going to be like, what's a xCloud? What? Tim Dog, get that out of your name quick. xCloud, what's that? You know, like they're not gonna.
It's gonna be HoloLens.
Yeah, it's gonna be. HoloLens,
I don't understand.
You know,
shout out to Byron Grant. He says, ain't no way Mooch could sell Google Stadia. You'd be crazy enough to pay $60 for basically air. I don't get that. Jay, maybe you can help me because you're the only other Google founder that I know, right? Well, he's the only one I know that has it besides myself. Okay. And I'll be honest with you, people keep saying, Mooch, how can you buy a game on Google Stadia for $60 and you don't own it? I'm like, but aren't you buying it now? You don't own anything right now. You don't own shit. Yeah. And I don't understand what people keep saying. They're like, well, I own it on my Xbox. No, you don't. No, you don't. When Xbox Live is down, you can't play it. Yep. Right? And when it's
remove games off, when they remove old games and old content off their servers, it's gone. You no longer have access to them. So it's
well, no, listen, you can still download.
You still get stuff.
Yeah, you can. There's a couple instances like DuckTales, I guess, or Minecraft Story Mode for some reason. But for the most part, you can still play. I mean, if my internet's down, I could technically still play. I won't get achievements that pop up. Yeah, they'll pop up retroactively, but I hate that. So that's why whenever there's internet's down, I don't play anyway. But you know, I think it's a little bit different when it's like even right now, if I'm watching Netflix, I'll get a pixelated screen sometimes if somebody else is using it at the same time. Yeah, like I can't imagine being able to having to stream a game or whatever. But I wanted to talk about two things that kind of fit together: the PS5 dev kits. Those kind of leaked, and actually a Codemasters developer confirmed this as being true. It looks kind of cool. It looks like a V or whatever, and as you know, V is Roman numeral for 5. So this isn't what the PlayStation 5 is going to look like, though. So I know a lot of people were saying, hey, it's going to look like this. It's not going to look like this.
Crap, but, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Hey,
I would love for it to look like that.
I would not. I got to be honest with you. I don't care for that design. But here's my concern, Crap. You remember when we saw the leaked Scorpio or Xbox One S, but I can't remember which design came out. The S came out first, of course. When they showed the dev kits for it, it looked it had a screen on the bottom and it had this and a couple of buttons along the row, but it basically looked like the same box. Yeah, I understand that, right? So I don't know if necessarily they would have the same highlighted buttons or where it says a few things, but we may be looking at that kind of a funky kind of design. And I'll be honest with you, I've always been like, wow, I wish Microsoft, and now they do with the X and the S, it looks great. But I always liked where Sony went with their designs, and I hope that's really just a dev kit. But crap, I don't know if I would just say that's a dev kit and we won't get anything that looks anything like it. I think it's going to look something like it if that in fact is a leaked dev kit.
I agree. Listen,
well, you had a big dev say it is, so
right. Listen, that extravagant looking of a whatever dev kit that they have, right?
Yeah.
Why did they craft that exactly like that? Because most of the dev kits before that look like a little square box. It's just
like a box, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a little small plain thing.
The
but
reason
cooling.
is, and let me
For
say something,
cooling.
Jay. Yeah, it was the cooling. You could see if by the ventilation that's going on.
Yeah.
That's Sony's version of whatever Microsoft has right now as their like liquid coolant.
Yeah,
they're doing something there,
vapor chamber,
and they've got the vapor chamber, and they want to get as much air out of that thing as possible.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is twofold with that design.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not allowing if somebody wants to put something on top, they can put something on top because it's not going to interfere with the airflow.
Yeah,
you're not going to put something in between that little crevasse they've got there. Okay,
cell phone in the bag of chips.
Right. So you're good there, but at the same time, you can almost put that device anywhere because it'll be able to breathe in any situation.
Yeah.
So that's why when people are like, "Well, it ain't gonna look like that, so don't worry about it." I don't know if we can. If that's been confirmed, I think it's gonna look similar, not the same, but similar.
The console is taking cues from that, right? They may sculpt it a little bit different, but why would they do that? Why would they crap that plastic like that for that particular design just for a dev kit? That's
they could have
extravagant for
and I don't know why. And listen, I don't mind them going for that design if it's for the technological purposes we just said.
Yeah,
but realistically, I still would have had ventilation on the top and still covered that and let it. It can exist like that underneath. Yeah. I personally don't. I don't know myself. I think that's a bit. If anyone from Sony's listening, that's a bit drastic. But that design's drastic.
Okay. Let me say this though, Mooch. Let's rewind back 2013. We got a Xbox that was replica of a old VCR.
That was too far. Yeah, that was a design that was in the past. Right.
Exactly. That was nothing technologically about that.
But this looks like the coat Michael J. Fox put on in Back to the Future. Coach crying.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm right. Listen, here we are in 2019, and my shoes don't tie themselves, and my coat doesn't self-dry. Okay, yeah. So my point being is, I don't know if I want to have a box that looks like it can warm up or nuke like a slice of pizza.
But back to Crab's point, when you look at that design, that's a V shape. That's in a symbol of a 5.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
It's 5. PlayStation 5. Could it be? I don't know. There could be something.
I also don't want the Scarlet to be in the shape of an X.
Oh man, I think
a lot of people will go crazy for that.
Not me. But, where the hell am I putting that on my entertainment center, Jay?
Hey, but the big question, right? One of the big questions is, will Microsoft keep with the No Man Left Behind and the no longer believe in generations? Will the Scarlet be called Xbox One? Because it's still an Xbox.
That's a good question.
Great question.
Personally, I think they need to kill the Xbox One name because it's tarnished. They need to go with a whole new name. What? I don't know, but like take Xbox One and dump it in the bins of history and never bring
I don't think they have to name it after Xbox One, to be honest with you. I think they could say, let's just call it Scarlet for today's conversation. Xbox Scarlet, part of the Xbox One family. Okay, they can still be, because listen, you can go ahead and say that's not good enough, Mooch, but here's the thing, okay? At the end of the day, for the foreseeable future, at least 12 months out, all the games on Scarlet got to work on the Xbox One OG. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be part of the family to start. Then they can disown the family a year later.
You think so?
They have to, Crap.
I don't know.
Your ex is going to play the Halo Infinite.
Yeah, but I mean, are they going to get rid of? When are they going to drop the original Xbox One?
Listen, I said minimum 12 months. I don't have any idea. It could be 12 months, it could be 24 months. I don't know. But they're eventually going to drop it. Technology is going to move on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, though. Like, is that going to be a thing?
I don't know. I mean, your 360 can't play Halo Infinite, right? They had to drop at some point. Everything gets dropped eventually. That's up to them if they want to do it in 12, 24, or 36.
But their products so far with this Microsoft in general, Surface Book 1 and 2, everything's going in numbers.
Surface Studio 1 and 2. Yeah,
it's going to be an Xbox 2. I mean, it makes sense.
But it's not Xbox 2. That's the.
I understand that, but to get everything in line,
Xbox One 2 is what it would be.
It'd be an Xbox 2, but I think they're just trying to go with the naming convention, not that it's the second Xbox. It's just to get in line with everything.
If you're talking about Microsoft trying to rid itself of all confusion and all ails going forward, they cannot name it Xbox 2. They just cannot.
Yeah.
You say
Well,
that.
look,
gonna be
Xbox One made sense because they were saying, well, I mean, it was stupid, but it was all in one. I get it, right? Like, hey, I get it. You guys are clever. Good one. But it's like, Xbox 2, what is that going to make it? Like, what if they just call it the Xbox?
Console you've had?
What's that?
Saying this would be like their 10th actual console that they've made.
I mean, it could. I don't know.
Variations of a console. I mean, they've put out quite a few of those things.
What about Xbox Infinite? Is that still on the table, or that's just a bad rumor?
That's what Xbox One X should have been. I think they should have named it Xbox Infinite, or I
remember there were those rumors, but then there was Disney Infinity or something. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was something that like people had to like keep in mind or whatever. When that kind of came out. Also, there's a rumor now that The Last of Us 2 is going to be a showcase piece for the PlayStation 5 reveal in February 2020, which I thought was odd. You know what I mean? Because there's also a rumor that Ghost of Tsushima is now going to be a launch title for the PlayStation 5, which I think is a very smart move. I'm not even against them doing.
So the rumors back resurfaced that we may get a early 2020 release of PS5.
No, they're showing
the They're gonna show it off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Show some, show what it can do. Talk about the specs. Basically, they're going to take their PSX from this year. They're going to push it forward. I mean, push it back 2 months. Have that type of event. They probably won't show the console until E3, but they're going to talk about it. What they did with the Pro and the PS4, they kind of showed you some video footage. I was kind of blurred about the controller and then about the back of the console. They kind of had you in riddles. You see what I'm saying? They kind of did it in little pieces leading up to E3, and then E3 would be the final reveal. Then it would launch in November.
So
that's probably what they'll do.
Games, right? If they just show the game, that's all I want to see is the game. You show me a game running on PS5 because we've already seen The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima running on the Pro. We know those look just mind-boggling good. But then you show it to me on PS5 running side by side, and you tell me it's 60 frames a second and it has ray tracing and all this other stuff on it.
So wait, but you're concerning me on something now because, like, what does that mean for The Last of Us 2? When's that releasing?
Rumored that game was going to be releasing in May.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Ghost of Tsushima releasing with PS5, I'm okay with. Yeah. But I want The Last of Us 2 way before November 2020.
Well, I'll tell you what, David Jaffe, he talked to us on a podcast, and he said, look, we may be getting a $20 if you buy the version for the PS4, you spend $19 or something like that, $10 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You get the PS5 version.
We did that with Grand Theft Auto 5 this generation.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe something like that.
I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Me neither. I don't mind that. But at the end of the day, man, I don't think I can hold out. If they launch The Last of Us 2 in May, I cannot hold off on that game and just wait for the PS5. I'm gonna have.
But I have a question though. So, so the rumor is they're going to be showing it off at that PS5 event. They're going to be showing off The Last of Us 2 at that event.
Yeah, so that is a little bit weird because it's totally a PS4 game. But hold on, the rumor does state that this is a new engine and that the cutscenes or the actual playable stuff looks like cutscenes that we're used to. So it would be a huge showcase piece. Maybe it's going to release closer to the PlayStation 5 release date. It's going to be backwards compatible anyway, but there was the rumor that it was going to release in February. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. But imagine if they did, maybe it would be smart to push that back to be a launch title as well as a cross-gen thing for the, I'm sure people are still going to buy it on PS4, but what a showpiece, right? Last of Us game, that game's a pretty much a lock to win game of the year next year.
Oh yeah, Last of Us is phenomenal, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and the only thing they could maybe put up a fight would be Cyberpunk, but
Avengers.
I mean, look, I'm looking forward to playing that game. I'm just not sure what exactly to make of it in terms of just I don't know, just something off about it right now to me. I don't know for sure. But with that being said, you know what? We are closing in on 10 o'clock. And, I got to say, it's been a heck of a show. This time flies. We're having a good time. Really cool stuff. Mooch, What do you got going on, man?
We got a full weekend of games coming up, Crap. We got Crossfire podcast on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the MOH 78. And I'll be streaming Control and hopefully Man of Medan as well this weekend. So check that out. It's twitch.tv/the MOH 78. Guys, go over and hit the like button, the subscribe button.
Yeah, do
everything. Guys, it's a click of a button. That's all it is.
Hoof clickers, we need you.
Let's do it.
Like
all right,
that.
thanks, Crap. Great show tonight, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Predator, man, what's going on? What do you got going on?
Next podcast on Saturday, and nothing else besides that, as far as I know. So.
Oh, awesome, man! Looking forward to that. What about you, Dirt Griggity? What do you got going on?
Well, I usually have a podcast tonight, but no podcast tonight. But check out my channel, you guys. Dirt Griggity. I try to be funny and do skits, and I'm just a damn Xbox guy.
Oh, nice!
Wow,
that's nice. And J Dubs Kratos, what do you got going on?
Hey man, I got a lot going on. About to jump on. Go ahead and pop on this Control. See what it's about. Finally gonna boot it up and get playing with it. Gonna try some No Man's Sky VR. Jump back into that. Other than that, you guys can find me on Twitter at JDubCity16. Trying to keep you guys laugh with the gifts and the memes. You know what I mean?
Hey man, that shit don't be funny.
Speaking of that, Crap and Jay, I can't believe it. I asked for a review code. I got a review code for No Man's Sky Beyond. So I will be on this weekend doing a little VR. So hopefully we can jam out.
That is awesome because that is a lot of fun. Again, I was looking forward to that, but again, we got a hurricane, so I got to sit there and prepare for that. So hopefully,
you never know, Crap. It could miss you.
It could, yeah. I'm hoping it spins a little bit more north. But until then, man, MOH Crapgamer or MOH Space Crapgamer is my gamer tag. Hook me up, man. I want to play some Control, please, man, please. With that being said, I want to spend a special thanks to Sully for running this again.
Hey!
Appreciate it, man. I mean, this has got to be more fun than playing State of Decay 2, but
still. Come on, Crap.
sorry.
You can technically do both at the same time.
Exactly. Hey,
hey, Sully, I'm with you. I love State of Decay 2, bro. I'm with you.
Somebody, hey, Mooch. Somebody pissed in our Cheerios. -10 food.
Hey, somebody just put a rusty nail in our only apple tree. Hurry back to base.
Should we kick them out of the group? No. Hey, I spawned in the floor and in the wall. What should I do?
Sheriff, it's your turn to go out. No, man, I'm too tired. Come on, Sheriff. I've been off 6 times.
You guys are wrong.
Somebody get the sheriff up.
Man, this is very hurtful, man. I can't believe it.
It is. I agree with Dirk. It's hurtful.
Thank you so much, man. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Peace out. Later.
Peace.